Now let's start with password policy document. We have document control page where we have document ID, some other details, related documents. Now under related documents we have SOC2 asset scope, confidentiality statement. These are table of contents. This is the objective why we are creating this policy. Roles and responsibilities, CISO accountable to see the implementation and enforcement of this policy. We have DPO, Data Protection Officer or Data Privacy Officer. So responsible for creating, updating and maintaining this policy. Now, if your organization does not have a DPO, then this may be delegated to or this may be given back to CISO or someone from IT security team. The IT security team is responsible for ensuring password protection requirements are in place, and they do also do the audits. And BU heads or project manager, they ensure that the employees under their supervision comply with this policy. They can also review and approve this password policy. Employees and contractors, they should read this policy, provide any feedbacks, or if they have any queries, ask to the relevant document owner. Report any violation of this password policy document. Okay. Now the scope, this applies to all individuals. It includes employees, contractors, vendors, also third-party users, which have been granted access to any of the company system, okay, or network, application, or database. Now, this is a part of scope. And apart from this, we also have the SOC2 scoping document, where we have a list of devices, the list of servers, and application details. So this applies to this list. If it is out of scope, it won't apply. If it is a generic we are creating at organization level, then we may keep this applicable. But if this is for SOC2 only, then the password policy will not apply. If the database is not in scope, it won't apply there. Okay. Now, apart from scope, we have password construction requirements. So how we are creating the password, what would be its length and complexity. So important part here, if any system or application, it is inside the internal network, then the minimum password length should be 8. If it is internet facing or public facing, it should be 12. We have also prohibited passwords. There are some passwords which matches the company name. Example, this is company name @123. So this is a weak password. We are maintaining a list of blacklisted password, a central sheet. So this is a list of the sheet. Now these are the passwords which are weak, which are considered weak or already compromised. They do meet all the requirements. Like if you see, there are more than 8 characters. They have the all password complexity requirements met. But as they are already breached or out of hackers or maybe present in password dictionary attack, then we should not use these passwords. Passphrases are the lengthy passwords. So our policy strongly encourage to use these passphrases. Example could be SecureCyberGates cyber company @2005. So it's a lengthy passphrase. It's easy to remember, but while typing it will be lengthy. Okay. So these are passphrases. For multi-factor requirements, so multi-factor should be enabled for all systems. So ideally, for multi-factor authentication, once you are typing the password, it should ask for a token on your email or on your phone number, or it should be a hardware token. So example, if it's a public-facing application, then it is must to have MFA enabled for all the public-facing applications. If it's a VPN, then it must to have MFA enabled. So if for cloud also, as it is a public facing application, it must have MFA enabled. Also, we have something called administrator access or privileged access. So any user account that is privileged, it should have MFA enabled. Policy exception. If you want any exception to any of the requirements, we have a policy exception template. You can follow the template and as per the process, share it to the respective document owner and person, and if it is justified and approved, then you may have that exception. Now, password protection standards and user responsibility. So there is some responsibilities on employees, contractors, and authorized users. Example, they don't share the passwords or note it down anywhere in a text pad, plain text. They don't use remember password features in the applications. So these are the list of best practices that employee, contractors, or end users should follow. These are some best practices or the commands that the project team and IT team should follow. And the use of password managers. So we have softwares like LastPass or 1Password or KeePass. So these are some applications which is used to centrally manage all the passwords and all other secret credentials. So we may use that, but any of this software, there should be a proper due diligence before selecting any of these password managers. Password reset, expiration, and account logout. So password reset. So these are the requirements. If the password has not been changed in 6 months or more, then to limit the potential exposure time of a compromised credential. So we have a password reset there. When there is an evidence, so password resets are mandatory in these situations. If the password is not changed in 6 months, and employee, contractors, or third party, that person or that employee, it leaves the organization, or the person get transferred to any other department, then we should reset the password of the current department. And there might be possibility the employee is still working with the current department. Then after the employee is moved 100% to the next department, then we should revoke all the access. And periodic password expiration, example, every 90 days, every 60 days. So apart from that, we have account lockout. So example, after 5 failed login attempts, the account should be locked for example, let's say 30 minutes or 10 minutes. So that this avoids brute force. And dormant accounts, example, if any account is not used or logged in for 90 days, it would be deactivated. System and application development standards. Now, application system requirements. So we have all these requirements listed here. We should use strong salt and key. Example, we are storing the password in the database and it should be hashed and salted. So it's a random number generations in the backend, so that a DBA, a person having access to database, also cannot see the passwords. Centralized password blacklist, we already discussed this. So we should maintain a central tracker for all blacklisted passwords, and this should be updated. Account lockout, account creation, account modification, and this is the life cycle. Logging and monitoring all accounts management activities, including account creation, all this should be logged. So when the user is logging in, what activities the user is doing, and when the account would be logged out. So all should be maintained. From what IP the user is logged in. So all such details should be maintained. So employee training and awareness. So this is a part of general practice. all employees should be given training for this password policy when they are joining or when they are onboarding. Apart from this, there should be at least once a year training on this document. Compliance and monitoring. So these are a simple standard one. This is the escalation matrix. Now we have escalation matrix common in all our policy documents. The level 1, level 2 and level 3 point of contact may change, and that's why we have a escalation matrix placed inside a policy document. Policy exception, if anyone wants to have an exception, so they can raise this exception. So example could be, we have created a policy and it is enforced at application level so that the password should follow all the complexity and length requirements. But there may be exception for testing purpose. Testers or developers, they use a simple password. So what they do, they don't use GUI. They directly execute a script at the backend of the database, and it bypasses the policies. And they create a simple passwords for their own testing purpose. So they can raise an exception. Okay, so for testing purpose, we are doing like this. We want the simple password. It's just for testing purpose, and then we can raise an exception. And after proper business justification, the security team can look into it and can grant that permission. So this is only for development environment or low environments. Policy review and update. So this policy should be reviewed at least once in a year, or it depends if there is any significant change. Apart from that, and this is conclusion. So that's it on the password policy.